We are just live on YouTube, and this is a 6 a.m. meeting on Talk and Talk. And this meeting, as you already know, or if you are listening to this or watching this later today, we're not here to teach. This is not a class. This is not a place to. The immersions, they're not a place to talk about English language, but to talk about a topic, a subject, and discuss it. And then we can learn. That's why we call it immersion. And we're going to talk today about nationality. And I bring 10 questions so we can discuss. Usually, I like to bring other questions than the ones we have in here. But the idea is really to have a conversation that's going to flow like in a natural way, like a really real conversation. We start with the presentations, personal presentations, and it's always a chance to bring something new. So Angelo, can you start with your presentation?
Of course. Hello guys, my name is Angelo Silva. I'm 37 years old. I'm married. I have a daughter, a beautiful daughter. I live in Lisbon, but I came from São Paulo, Brazil. I work with the technology area, and I have some projects in Brazil about the technology area. I help with some companies consulting and deliver projects in technology area in Brazil. And I have a channel in YouTube for helping people about technology too. I have some courses in Udemy platform for helping people with spend a little bit money for doing that. And I like running sometimes because it's good for my mind, my health. I like to read a lot because I am curious about point of view of people around the world. That's it. I like talk and talk because it's good community. Stay here so good with interested people. Thank you guys. That's it.
Very good, Angelo. Good to have you around again this time. Kachi, what about you?
Hello, good morning. My name is Catiana. I live in Vitória, Espírito Santo. I'm 39 years old. I'm an engineer. I work with the in the oil and gas sector, and with new projects in the oil and gas sector. I work with the safety and the health engineer in the new project. I live in Vitória. Vitória is a beautiful place for living because here you have a possibility for many things, and it's a small city. And I like because I love sports, and here it's possible running in front of the beach, swimming in the sea. I love this kind of thing. It's a little things about me.
Very good. Good to hear from you again. And Rosalia.
Morning, guys. I'm Rosalia, 55. I live in Joinville, Santa Catarina. Oh my gosh, I'm here to improve my English, my pronunciation, something like that. But today I would like to share with you that I will start with French. Sometimes I think I'm a little crazy because I'm learning another language, then I will start another. It's a little bit crazy because sometimes I think I don't speak a little bit as well the others language, then I will start one again. But I like so much, so learn new things, learn new languages, that I will start to see the way it will go vai me levar, ainda não.
Yeah. I always enjoy when I start new challenge, new things, I get excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited to start because I'm with my notebook write the things that write for to notes new words because I've never learned nothing about the French. I will be begin to start the first words. Yeah.
Yeah, we are starting this basic course in English, in Spanish, and French, really to start from scratch, so we can develop some people and to make them believe that it's possible to start speaking within 4 months. And it doesn't mean that you are going to be perfect, but you're going to be something different than you are now. That's the goal. So it's going to be 4 months and it's going to be amazing. I'll be there like opening up the class to set up some important things. So it's going to be nice. And I'm Philip, and I'm also going to start French. And it's going to be a huge challenge for my mind to have something else going on. And I'm scared and excited at the same time. So it's going to be funny to feel and to live the experience, especially because I'll have the chance to prove myself again with something else and difficult, that is to learn a new language. We're going to talk about nationality, and I think it's going to be really good, and I don't know what's gonna come up next, but I'm gonna start with Angelo, especially you're living abroad. What comes to your mind when you hear this word, nationality? And are you happy being Brazilian? You're muted.
Of course, I'm happy. I am so grateful because I am born in Brazil. Brazil is a huge nationality. It's people in Brazil is loved people sometimes, part of times, and I know imagining I'm in another nationality because my character is different from other people. When I talk with other people here in Portugal or people in London, I have some friends in London, and people is completely cold. It's not expression. It's not have any expression when talking with other people. It's not demonstration emotion. It's because sometimes have a lot of war in these places. People is very I don't know means desconfiado with other people. Of course, it's a security. It's because have thinking about security. But Brazil, I love Brazil. Not important how long time I stay here in Portugal, but Brazil is my home. That's it.
Very good, very good. Rosalia, and what do you think about nationality? What comes to your mind? But also, what do you think about what Angela has just said or has just shared?
Yeah, I think oh my gosh, I forgot the word now.
Nationality?
No, nationality, but I wanted to say another language, but I will say only I agree. I understand Angelo because he was living in another country. Our nationality is our home. Our country is our home. Even you are living in another country, but you wanted to back to home. Is like when you are traveling for 10 10 days, 11 days, but you wanted to back. It's good to stay in another country, another place, but you wanted to back to home. And you are in the Lisbon, but you wanted to back to Brazil. I understand, because nationality for me is the place that you was born, the place you are living, is something like that. Now you are living in Lisbon, but you wanted to back to Brazil, your home.
Yeah. It feels like home, right? When
It's like home.
we talk about nationality.
Yeah.
So I have a home, even though I do not live there anymore, right? Kachi, how do you see this like nationality thing?
And I think I love. I'm born in Brazil. I think in Brazil it's an amazing place for living. I love this country. Sometimes I listen people speaking very bad about Brazil, but Brazil, we here we have many possibilities. It's a multicultural country, and it's very rich. And sometimes the people don't improve these things. The Brazilian, it's a friendly and smile all the time. And I understand when the Angelo speak about the when you live abroad. Now I work with many foreigners in the company. Many foreigners, it's from Norway, Norwega. It's very stranger when you have a meeting with these people. When we stay together, these people, it's like a freezer. It's very cold. It's very different. It's very different. And I love the this culture of Brazil. It's friendly. It's possible for you go for the other states and make friends. Sometimes speak with the people in the other country. I don't know. I think Italian and the Spanish, it's very similar to Brazil, because the culture, it's similar. And uh, I love Brazil.
Yeah, it feels when I travel abroad, it always feels like people see Brazil like a friendly place or friendly um, environment. You know, I don't know. Angelo, living abroad, do you have uh, this feeling that people see Brazilians like a different
Yeah,
people, welcome people?
yeah. Of course, I talk with few other people when have security with you. You know, people is most suspicious here. Principal because in some time ago, Brazilian peoples come here and has a lot of problem here in his country, in the country. But peoples love Brazil. I don't know. I'm not imagining how Portuguese people love Brazil, love people in Brazil, love the culture in Brazil, the culinary in Brazil, and the cooking in Brazil. It's very strange. People here know absolutely all the situations in Brazil, like politics, like series, like novela in Brazil, about the Rio de Janeiro. Here, people speak all the places in Brazil, Amazonia, something like that. It's very interesting because I'm Brazilian people, but I don't know the situations in Brazil in some time because I know watching TV, I know see news, people talk with me, oh, about the situations in Brazil. I think, oh, I know it's bad, but I know interesting. But in sometimes critique people in Brazil because have a lot of situations, bad situations about politics, and people is not positioned about the situations like French. In French, because one bad situations, people fighting in the city, you know, something like that. It's different, but people here, other country too, love Brazilian people. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything still. Rosalia, and you, what do you think about Brazilian people? Like, do you disagree that they are welcome different than others?
Yeah, I totally agree because Brazilian people is so friendly. When you are go with another place, no matter the place that you are, the people is so friendly, so happy, smile all the time, trying to help. I think Brazilian people is the better in the world. When you are traveling, you see that the people want to know more about Brazilian. The people knows, I don't know, about the news, but they don't have a side. I don't know. They don't have so much opinion, but they wanted to knows more about the Brazilian, about pollution, about the everything around. But they wanted to know some place. Sometimes they were asking us for us to know what the place that I want that I can that can I knows in Brazil, but I wanted to stay for 5 days there. That it's difficult to say only one place they can knows it's, but I like so much to live here.
Yeah. Kachi, I'm gonna bring you another question. Do you think it's important to develop awareness around the country you were born? For example, is it important to think and to realize that you are Brazilian?
I think because when you know with about the country where you live in, you improve the qualities, because all the countries in the world have qualities, but but have problems. It's very common. And when you understand this point, you know more about your country, because you improve the things in your country. Because sometimes I see many Brazilians speak very bad about Brazil, though, but Brazil, it's the last country in the world. But here it's a beautiful place for living. I Every time I speak about my city, I love Vitória. I don't imagine my life outside Vitória, because here it's possible. I go to the gym, because in few minutes I go to the gym. If I want to go to the sea, I go to the sea. If I ride a bike, I stay very next to the place. These things, it's not common in the other countries. You stay, it's very common. You stay with 6 or 7 months with the navy. I don't remember navy. And the in Brazil, it's possible you are stay in the beach, and in 1 or 2 hours you stay in the mountains, in the beautiful place. The culture in Brazil, it's very strong. You have Italian descendants, German, Africans, and the others. I think when you understand about the strong points in your culture, you improve these things. Sometimes the people speak bad, but don't understand the strong points, because the strong point ultrapassa, I don't remember, ultrapassa the bad.
Overcomes. Overcomes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's a good discussion. And that's the next. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep going with this. Angelo, what do you think about, like, is it important to realize that you are Brazilian?
Yeah, of course, because I don't know. I have different point of view about Brazil. You know, some parts of the problem in Brazil is not only the politics. Politics is the mirror about people, you know. And sometimes people is not think it's not politics is not equals football, you know. People confund the point of view and I have one politics and it's my part. It's the different from you and I fight with you if you talk about my politics. It's not about the peoples, the rules, the city, the realize some things in the city. People's here in Europe talk about Brazil, something like that. Like if Brazil has a good politics, Brazil is the best place to live in around the world because they have a lot of good situations, have a lot of Brazil's not depends with other countries to live people in Brazil. You know, in Brazil, stay all the kind of situations for living, for stay healthy, but in sometimes people's is cause problem for other peoples in Brazil because exactly with Tatiana said, not know about the country, not know about how important is the country. You know, sometimes I discuss politics with other people, but it's not fight with other people. People not understand the correct purpose of the politics, and that's it. For me, it's Brazil is I don't know me, it's fio da navalha. Você já viu essa expressão? You know,
Yeah.
expressions. It's very difficult. It's if you take right is good. If you take left is bad. But if it's all the time in these situations, it's good or bad, good or bad. In kind of years, people say, "Oh, in the past, it's the same situations like nowadays." But it's difficult, right? It's not change. It's not change. It's not have a direction. It's interesting when people talk with English in English in here in this time, 6 a.m. in Brazil. The people is needed different forms about the ways from Brazil. It's the kinds of situations here. It is directions to Brazil. Brazilian people is that peoples and strong peoples. Peoples does not give up anything, situations, bad situations in your life, and change for other country for knows about the other situations, for come to Brazil and improve in Brazil. You know, Brazilian people is this guys. You know, that's it.
Yeah. What about you, Rosalia? What do you think?
I agree with you, Angelo, because you need to know more about your country, especially Brazil. Brazilian people is so nice. They only need to understand more about the life because nowadays it's difficult to thinking about the politics because politicians sometimes right, sometimes left. It's okay. You need to accept. You need to go on, but you need to put your mind, your life around you, make things better around you, and go on. Don't have how to solve this problem now. But sometimes the politicians put the shame in another government. This government puts the shame in the another put the shame in that. Oh my gosh, don't solve the problem, never. You'll be the same for all the time. Then you need to know about your country, trying to make things the way you are living, the better for you and your family. Don't have how to thinking about the solution. Bring the government. You need to make your part.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to the country politics and everything, I understand that we could have things going better because of the taxes we pay and everything. but I want to bring something else. Okay, this is something that it's been really hard to change, and it's been like this, at least for me, for the past 34 years, you know. What can we do around ourselves in our world, like the place we live with, the family we have, the friends we have? How can we make things go better, or to have a better way of living? Is it possible to do something? Or if we can do something, what we can do? Or if we can't, why we can't? Like, I'm not saying that we need to do something, or that it's you know, I'm just trying to think about, is it possible to change something? Is it possible to make, because I know, like, here I live in São Paulo downtown, security, like safety, it's really complicated. But can I do something about it? Like, just thinking. I don't know the answer. So Rosalia, go ahead.
Only work. Make your bed. I don't know, because you can't wait for government. You need to make your part and to go on to put your family to work to in the better way, trying to follow the law for avoid to have a problem with the law of the government, because it's not easy. I know it's not easy, but you need to make your part to be prepared. Study a lot to be prepared, to stay prepared for face the problem when this problem appears, because every day you have a problem, you need to be prepared. But I don't know how can why it's happened, but you need to be prepared all the time to make it better. Don't thinking about another person, thinking about your life. Only that.
Yeah. You, Angelo, what do you think?
It's crazy talk to talk, because I think the problem in Brazil about security, like São Paulo, it's people don't have necessary education, because the problem is people's cause other people, in sometimes generalize some situations, and have a lot of bad situations in São Paulo. In other places, the same situation, but São Paulo is the larger place to live. And for me, it's possible you input more education and more, I don't know, mean cidadania. People don't have interpretations about the situations around you, and sometimes people is ignorant people, and doing the different form with other peoples and cause problem with other people. People's talk about the politics, talk about the one person in politics, another person in politics, because it's a bad person, but in sometimes it's a bad person too for your neighborhood, for your coworker, and it's breaking rule too. It's the some situations like the people's, and I don't know, means bandido in English. It's this some situation. Yes, it's the some situation, right? People's not think about this type, but it's the some situations. And sometimes you is part of the problems in your country. You talk bad about your country. It's not to propagate good things, propagate bad things all the time. It's you is part of the situation, are part of the situations. I think it's people think is more I don't know, we live about this kind of situations in Brazil. Something like that is TVs, journal, newspaper, bad newspaper about bad situations, and read more, and watch more interesting videos in YouTube. Is not is the bullshit videos, and inform more in the confidence points of the informations, think the different form about the Brazil, the positive thinkings, and take your part of the problem, because you sometimes are part of the problem. You know, if you do that, it's possible in the future. In the future, Brazil is good place to live too. In sometimes part of Brazil is good place, but in São Paulo is high violence. São Paulo is crazy to live here. I know how difficult it is living in Brazil. It's very crazy, but that's it. I think people change the situations in the future. In São Paulo, specifically in São Paulo, has a good governance nowadays. It's possible to think and change the rules in some situations. So that's it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed what you said. You are part of the problem or not? So, this is really important, really important. Kachi, are you still there?
Yes. It's when you speak about this, Felipe, I remember one thing, and I agree. One thing of my mother said every time for me when I a child, or when I was a teenager, about education. And I'm born in a poor family. My father is work out all your life with agriculture. My mother too, and I don't remember pedreiro, but it's work with this. But every time my mother said, study, you need study. These things change your life. It's possible for you living better than us living now. And I think for the most of the problems in Brazil, it's possible change with education, because I think education, it's important. When you have a possibility for do different things and understand it's possible for you change your life with education. I think the people change many things in the society. You improve many things, and I agree with you, Rosalia. It's important to speak about education. Now I speak all the time with my daughter. It's about study more, because it's important. I think if the most of the people in Brazil understand and improve the quality of education in Brazil, and it's possible change many things. Right, it's you need to stay together. The práticas de política, I don't remember these things in English, but education, I think, is the point. Because if the child in the farol have a possibility for stay in the school, I think if it's possible for this child to have other life. Because I agree with education that it's you have a real possibility for change your life. And but for the political, these things, it's not important, because when you have a people who que a pessoa que questiona, it's not like for the politicians, because you need convince these people, convince a pessoa with bare arguments. And education is not the point for the politics in Brazil.
Yeah, and like I work with education, and I'm always asking myself, and I heard from a teacher in college once, and I'm gonna bring this discussion. is education everything we need to change the situation we live? It's only education, just education is enough. It's everything. And I'm gonna bring this from Kati and to Rosalia and Angela, and then I get back to Kati to add. So what do you guys think? Angela, go ahead.
Of course, educations change all kind of situations around you. If you think the different forms, you take the different way, you take the different situations for your life, for your family. You know, I grew up in poor neighborhood and with my family, and parts of my friends is completely bad situations nowadays. Not because no have opportunity, but because it's choice the bad way for your life, you know. And I'm staying here in Lisbon, but I'm not different opportunity for them, but I think the different forms because in my home, my father and my mom uh, talk with us, me and my brothers, the different forms. They explain the life, the different forms. The educations save all the people around the world. If you imagine it, it's correlation, education with security, with have more opportunity. Think about the people in Brazil talking English all the time, talking French, talking in Italy, people in Brazil. So I mean, all the road because people in Brazil, people are strong people, you know. It's strong people. If you imagine strong people, I live here, I see the other people here is the different, completely different in Brazil because people here have more opportunities for educations, have more easy way for educations, priority the education here. Sometimes people talk with me about the one situations in Portugal when have one politics and politics patronizations the educations here in Portugal in Europe. You know, education is the core of the changes. You know, I think it is forms, but need people. Of course, people need eat because if not die, if not do that, die. Safe, the basic situations in your life before do that. But if principle, if you have the basic situations and education, it's possible to change all the situations around you. Yeah.
Very good. Really like that. And this is English conversation, you know. It's not about the language. It's not about present perfect, simple past, you know. It's about talking about important subjects. Rosalia, what do you think? Is education everything we need to solve
Yeah,
the problem?
I really like believe that that is a key for everything, because if you knows about the subject and you knows about the life, you can go through the problem, you can solve the problem all the time. Because if you don't have education, you don't know nothing. You need to be prepared all the time, because the world are changed all the time. Every day you have new opportunities to learn more. Then nowadays I don't have necessity to know new languages. I'm used because I learned because I want to learn more, because I don't have opportunity in the past, but now I have. Then I said for my children, don't, when you have opportunity, you need to know, you need to pick these opportunities, to keep these opportunities, and knows, because education is a key for everything. Then if you, the people don't want to, sometimes people don't want to spend time learn. They want to have everything in the hands. It's crazy, because when people put their efforts to learn, to have more education, have the opportunity to change everything around you, then for that, I think the education is a key for everything. Don't matter your age, don't matter where you are, you have the opportunity, you need to learn.
Yeah.
It's opportunity to Felipe talking about the situations when Rosalia said it's good thing because I changed my life in these days because I'm come here, arrived here in Lisbon 1 years ago, you know, and my English is completely beginning English. It's not a problem because I'm studying because that, you know, and I think the different form because I see other people talking English, talking French, talking all the kinds of language around the world. And expect me, I okay, I believe I have some goals in my life. I need to talk English more better. And I see your post in LinkedIn, and I read this post. I think, oh, it's true about the situation. People need to go ahead and have opportunity because talking is good opportunity for people in Brazil. Is the last price for study English, staying in good community, interest peoples because you and Rosalia and other people here is interest people to talk about all the situations in our life. And for me, change because in these times I changed to another opportunity to my life. Work 100% in English for help other peoples in Europe. And because that, I have another achievement, another goals in my life because I think, oh, it's possible I take the certification in English because in the future I go to the university 100% in English. You know how important is the educations. The educations it's possible show you another way for your life, live another life, the different form. That's it.
Yeah, I feel like especially about languages, it's in general, most people they don't have access to a new language. So we have a huge privilege to speak and to learn a new language. And indeed, speaking another language open doors, open a lot of doors. It has no question about that. But to reach that level of awareness and knowledge, we need to have something else or a lot of other things fulfilled. We need a home, we need food, we need a family structure somehow, we need the basic stuff. And I guess most people they still don't have it. I feel like I'm always I feel really sad when I see someone sleeping on the streets. I really feel that every single time I feel that. And I look and I feel that. And I always remember, why am I doing what I'm doing? Because it's really sad to see another human being sleeping on the streets and being vulnerable to violence, or using drugs. I live like in downtown São Paulo, and I live near Cracolândia, not close enough to see that happening, but you see those people around sometimes. And to think that it's a person, it's a dream, it's a person who could help other people, who could do something of their life, and they are not doing because they have already gave up. They have already given up. They are. It's basically they are. They lost faith completely. So I remember in the beginning of pandemic, we started more meetings in the week. And I remember telling, oh, I want to help people that they are really in need of help. You know, I'm still far away from that. I'm still far away from that. And when I say that, I talk about really poor people that they do not have access. Children, you know, especially. But last year I started the social program in here, and I see how difficult it's going to be, the challenge it's going to be to teach people like homeless people or people that they don't have access to basic stuff. Because we are helping an average of 50 people that are unemployed and they are looking for a job. And English, it's not the problem they have. English is not the problem. There's a lot of other things that we need to take care about. So it's going to be huge. We're going to do that somehow. I have no idea how education, like language education, can help people with vulnerability, like people that are living in situation of vulnerability, or some kind of vulnerability. If it's food, if it's like a place to live, or if it's like violence or health, you know. I don't know how how education can deal with these symptoms, you know, before teaching or before learning. Because like it's 6 a.m. in Brazil, like in Portugal, I guess it's 10 or 9 a.m. I don't know. But yeah, if we are here, it means that we have done, or we have achieved as a level that we can do this, you know. Yeah, it's almost 11. So that's why we are bringing a community around Talk and Talk. It's not like, oh, because it's beautiful, because it's a purpose, no, or because it's like it's a purpose, but because it's about the business model. No, it's because we are creating leaders that can change the world with a language, with voice. That's why we have the hosts, you know. That's the purpose.
You're doing that.
Yeah.
You're doing that. You rock.
Yeah.
Completely rock.
Yeah, so hard.
So it's basically, I cannot do that by myself. So I'm bringing people around me. And we have like 80 people nowadays. So being a host, it's definitely not about the language. It's about what you want to do with your voice, with your experience, to do to yourself. And then it's day by day. This year, we're gonna accomplish 7 years of this community. So for me, it's really important to be Brazilian. It's a real advantage comparing to other countries. Just because of the situation we have, the politics we have, politicians, the situation we have, like, and I live in São Paulo, that is a city with a lot of opportunities, but at the same time, with a lot of walls, you know. So I'm trying to break down the walls to create more bridges around people. That's really the idea. So that's why I always invite people. You want to be a host, just apply for it. Because you're going to develop another level of communication. You're going to develop leadership. You're going to develop your creativity. Because it seems to be easy, like it's just a talk, but you're leading. And you have to have the feeling of the questions and everything. Otherwise, you're gonna feel like you're a robot just asking, oh, and you, and you, and you, and you. And that's really not the case, but sometimes it happens because you're still developing that. You know? So Rosalia is still, it's already a host. She knows that. But Angela, if you wanna be part of it, please just think about it.
In the future.
And I'm gonna
Of course.
do the following. I'm gonna put this WhatsApp group in here. It's a WhatsApp group just for people that I invite. And the idea is really for people who are attending the 6 a.m. meetings. Okay, so please do not share this. It's a closed group with me, and I'm there just to share, to teach, to learn. So it's around me just to test a new idea I have, and it's going to be a pleasure to have you there.
I wanted to say something, Felipe. The reason that I still don't book my meeting with you, because I have been having a problem, somewhat problem, my family, because my mom moved on for another house. Then we spend more or less 15 days to fit your house. Then now I'm looking for my apartment, because I wanted to leave this apartment. Then I need to looking for that. Then I'm not having time to book a few. I
No
know
problem.
I don't forget that, but I will. Okay.
No problem. This is also leadership, like you understand the moment, the moment is
It's
important.
not the moment for now.
Yeah. So we are running out of time. I want to thank you for this delicious talk. Like today and yesterday, I woke up really tired, like exhausted. But after a talk like this, I feel really excited for the day that's coming. I hope you have the same energy and the same feeling. So Angelo, thank you so much for being part of this community. Rosalia as well. And let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. Okay? Have a great day, everybody. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.